Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio. Hoping you guys are having a great Wednesday. Weekend is almost here, and we got some exciting news. So I got two videos coming out today. One that you're watching right now, obviously, is going to be covering Marvel Crisis Protocol. The second video is some information about Leagues of Voton, actually big explosive information about it. And this is a video I had done previously that I was going to drop on you guys today, but more information has fallen into my lap and an analysis has fallen in my lap. So with all this information, I've had to redo that video. So we're going to now dive into that. Well, not now, later. Some really cool stuff about Leagues of Voton and about Games Workshop. I know I'm praising some cool information about Games Workshop. Also, some bad news about it. So it depends on which side of the fence you are on. I'm looking at it from both points of view, and I'm like, okay, this is bad, but cool as well. So we're going to get into that later on this afternoon. But right now, I want to talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol. So within the streaming community, within the insiders in the community, the hobbyists, the TOs, everybody that I communicate with, even with store owners from East Coast, West Coast, North, South of the border, even over in the UK at least. I don't have anybody over in Germany anymore. Definitely don't anybody in France. And regardless, so we do some chit chatting and speculating and whatnot, and that's how we get together and do our videos or formulate stuff for our blogs or just our community groups. Go, hey, you know what I heard? That sort of stuff. So one thing that we've been trying to figure out is when stuff is dropping, and we're still trying to figure out what's going to be dropping in November, but some stuff has dropped in our lap for, obviously, for January. We know that the Hydra tank, the Ultimate Encounter, is going to drop in January of 2023, but we still have to figure out November, December of 2022. We know what's coming in October. In just 20 days, approximately, we'll have our Sentinels, the Mark IVs, and the Prime Sentinel Mark IV, and we'll also have the Red Skull, Master of Hydra with the Hydra Troopers. That's all going to be dropping on the second week. That's either the 12th or the 14th. I don't have a calendar in front of me. We're about 20 some odd days away from that happening. So cool that that's going to happen. So it leaves for us November and December. Well, we just found out what's going to be dropping in December. And so that leaves us with an open month. Now, I originally predicted, now this is based on past information, past events, is that nothing really drops in December for, and I think that might have just been 1 year for Atomic Mass Games, besides some free, like an Ultimate Encounter type of thing. So really don't have a lot to go on. We're just throwing a bunch of stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks. So what we are going to be getting, and we're going to dive right into that, is right here we go. The Marvel Crisis Protocol Rivals panels, our second rival panels, the first one being Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. This is going to be the Weapon X program. And now this is going to be the most expensive 2-character kit. Now it does come with some snazzy terrain, but the price of this Rivals panels box is the equivalent or equal to the Marvel Crisis Protocol Miniatures Game Core set, which was $99.95. This box is going to be actually a little bit more, $99.99 US. Now, let you guys can put it in your Google calculator, figure out what your local pricing is going to be for anybody in the different countries. But this is going to be releasing on December 9th, 2022. So, yay, we got information on it. Boo on that price. That price is a bit steep, in my opinion. I believe the rival panels for Let's see here. Let's do rival panels. Spider-Man and Doc Ock was, I think, 69, no, 59.99. So we're getting a $40 price hike for, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why, because that's not enough plastic in my personal opinion. But before we kind of like creep up on it and break it down, the good and the bad and the ugly, let's at least take a look at it and determine it. So this is going to obviously feature, and we're going to take a look at the pictures here in just a second, of the new Sabretooth and Wolverine sculpts. And it's also going to include or the launch of the Weapon X program affiliation. That's going to be our newest affiliation after the Sentinel affiliation and the Hydra one had just are about ready to drop or have dropped. We know that there's going to be 16 tactic cards. We're actually going to take a look at the contents of the box, or at least the description here in a second. So this is a sizable amount of team tactic cards. I think the only other one that had as many was maybe Dormammu. Well, I guess that this puts it along the lines of the Dormammu box, the Nick Fury, and the Shield Agents, which had 10 team tactic cards, and I think Thanos was another one that had a crap ton of cards, but those also included the Ultimate Encounters. This one doesn't necessarily feature an Ultimate Encounter from everything we're seeing. It just includes a snazzy terrain piece. Let's take a look at the box itself. So I'm trying to blow it up here. So the snazzy looking terrain piece, but is that really worth an extra $40? I don't think so, but that's my opinion. There's a much better look at it. And I think most people have already seen this from back. We've covered it here on the channel, and it's been covered in a number of leaks. Actually, I think we had a leak video way before then that we talked about. But this is the box. This is the pretty much all the contents. There's going to be some other stuff we'll take a look at here in a second. But it is going to basically it's like those old school. Remember, for those of you who remember old school Saturday morning cartoons, we'd see the commercials for the whatever action figures or dolls or whatever, and you get the play sets. You know, you get the Barbie Dream House or Castle Grayskull that comes with some figures. That's what these are kind of give me that feel for, that vibe. As you can see, we're going to be getting the two different versions of these characters, Wolverine and Sabretooth. I like both these versions better than the other ones. These ones look really cool, and I feel I like personally more street clothes versus tights. There's going to be a motorcycle. I don't think the motorcycle really qualifies for that extra $40, but we can see where some of the price is going to be going to. Now, what we do have here in this box, let's take a look at it right here. Logan the Wolverine, Sabretooth, Apex Predator. We knew those. We just saw those. 2 bases. Actually, it's probably going to be like 4 bases because they're very generous with giving out their bases. A motorcycle, 1 bunker terrain piece, 8 props. Don't know what those props are going to be. 2 stat cards as normal. That's what you get with each character. 16 tactic cards. What's interesting, well, they said 16 tactic cards in their description, but what we don't see, and this is I think kind of like the really interesting part, maybe it's a misprint, is we're not seeing a affiliation card. So there's usually a affiliation card that comes with those characters. So is this going to be something along the lines like with this being the new Weapon X affiliation, and it's got a major rotating roster of characters? Does this mean that it's going to be kind of an open roster similar to the Convocation? I think it's Convocation. Am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right, with the new Doctor Strange, Doctor Voodoo, and such. Or are we going to see later on down the line a Weapon X character that's going to have an affiliation card? Do you need the affiliation card? Not really, but it's just kind of curious that it's not being included in this. So there's lots of theories. Maybe they're getting away from the affiliation cards because those affiliation cards don't really mean anything anymore since they just update everything online and you got these massive rosters. So maybe they're just getting rid of them and everything can be updated online. I don't know. Now, who's going to be included in the Weapon X affiliation? That is definitely a good question. My personal opinion, at least starting off, obviously we're going to have Logan and Sabretooth here, Victor Creed. We're going to have both these guys, obviously, in the Weapon X affiliation. We'll probably see Deadpool, because he is a part of it, and Omega Red. At one point or another, he's been part of the Weapon X. He wasn't originally part of the Weapon X, but he has been included in various media forms, from comic books to cartoons. So it's probably a safe assumption that those two characters are going to be in there. Now, there are other characters that we might see going into next year, especially since we're going to want to see this kind of get filled out. Some of the most well-known ones would be like, oh gosh, help me out here, guys. Maverick, his character named Maverick. We have Phantom X or Agent Zero. I think it's Phantom X or Agent Zero. There was like Silver Fox, Mastodon. I think in the Ultimates universe, even the Juggernaut, though I think he was a mutant in the Ultimate storyline. He was a mutant, so there. We had like Wild Child, Slayback, so Garrison Kane, the guy with the cybernetic arms. So there's a lot of characters that could fill that out. Now, are we going to see all of them? I don't think so. But I think we'll see. Maverick makes sense. Phantom X would be a really cool looking character. And Lady Deathstrike at one point or another has been included in there. So I think, definitely. I think X2, the movie, the X-Men movie. I can't think of Kelly Hu, I believe, was the character that played Lady Deathstrike in the movie. We know she's been in the cartoons and in the comics, so there's definitely somebody there for that. And I think there's obviously more characters that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there is a sizable roster, and a lot of those characters would look really cool on the tabletop. So I think that's promising. I have no idea what this Weapon X affiliation, we're going to do some speculating and try to put something together, and we'll do a video on it and watch it just all crumble once the actual rules for them come out. But that could be, I think, a beat stick, more a very aggressive fighting style affiliation where you want to be aggressive and you want to attack, really in your face affiliation more. I would say along the lines of the Black Order, but not as potent. So that's my initial speculation. So we also have coming in December the Blob and Pyro. So we're gonna not totally round out, but we're gonna get two key members of the Brotherhood of Mutants affiliation, or Freedom Force if they ever decide to do Freedom Force. We'll have the rest of them rounded out. Yes, there are other characters out there. I believe Sauron, the dinosaur mutant guy. We had Avalanche. There's a couple others and Destiny. Will they make it? I don't think so. I think with Blob, Pyro, Quicksilver, Toad, Scarlet Witch, and Mystique and Magneto. I think that's going to probably really round out the affiliation on an official level. They might add more in later, but that's good. It's going to be dependent upon who they bring out. Regardless, looking really good. He looks really, God, his face is just, it's not a bad face. It's just atrocious. It's just kind of like scary. terrified because he looks like he's going to eat me, especially if you read any of the Ultimates comics and you saw what the Blob did to a certain character in the Ultimates line. Yikes! And Pyro looks good. I'm a big fan of the classic costume, though his current incarnation in the Marvel comics, I think is kind of cool with the skull face tattoo going on there. I think that's a pretty cool thing that they've got going on. But I do like this classic look for him. So that's I think this is going to be a good box. I'm going to be doing a video probably next month as we get a little bit closer, and we're going to try to speculate what we're going to get from Blob and Pyro. So right now, that's shaping up all for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And like I said, later on today, we will get into some information about the Leagues of Voton, good stuff and some bad stuff. One last thing I want to leave off on is even though Asmodee has updated their website, Atomic Mass Games has yet to include the new Red Skull model in its lineup or anything, the Sentinels, anything else, which is really interesting. I not interesting, but curious on what how difficult it is to create a link, put up a couple pictures and the byline and all, or the description and everything, that same description that Asmodee has on their website, and just put it on theirs. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe somebody got COVID. Is it really critical important? No, but I do find it interesting that it's already up on the Asmodee website, who is the parent company or the owners of Atomic Mass Games, and they have yet to do that. But is it critical? Is it an admonishment of them? No, it's not. It's just curious what's going on. Anyways, so later on today, we're going to be talking about, like I said, the Leagues of Voton, the good, the bad, and the possibly cool or ugly. And another video will be dropping tomorrow for some RPG news. So you guys have yourself a wonderful Wednesday, and I will chat with you guys later. See ya.